We made it to the boardwalk! It is cool, isn't it?
The iconic Skyline Trail in Cape Breton Highlands National Park is a 4-mile round-trip hike with very easy terrain and beautiful views you can experience with your family or, maybe slightly after.
Hiking alone right now because we forgot to lock the car. About a mile into the hike, April reminded me. Exciting adventures with wolves. There they are. Hey guys!
The hike on the boardwalk ends with some stairs that take you down to a beautiful overlook.
Most epic nap ever taken.
I won't say there was no complaining on the way back up, but even the smallest of us made it back up predominantly on their own 2 feet. And after the drive back to camp, they still find the energy for gymnastics. Show me your karate moves again. And a karate face-off with the bolt.
Oh, the car beat you.
His mother trained him. Those dance moves are mine, though.
What is that one?
Okay. Paul, turn the lights off.
Sorry,
What are you doing?
it's not my fault.
Mom,
Yeah?
I have to go to the bathroom. Me too.
One of the things that we realized early in the trip was that the little warning that you've left one of your key fobs in the car, it's 3 little chirps like this, is pretty annoying at campsites. Another thing that's kind of annoying is the security lighting. When the headlights turn on in the middle of the night, we sort of blasted our own tent. So if you go to settings and go into vehicle settings, in the... Is it here? Even the exit lighting is off, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on.
Here's a tip. Don't do tip videos if you don't know what you're doing. Which brings us to a segment I like to call Read the Friggin' Manual. Read the friggin' manual. So, let's do the remote left in vehicle. Page 142, go to homepage, touch icon view, go to settings, scroll to vehicle, select right arrow, tap remote left in vehicle alert, select off. There we go. Test it. Worked. Awesome. Now back to the... Get my wife's keys. Okay. Problem 2. Entry and exit lighting at night. Manual. Page 142 again. Says turn this function off in the same place. Settings, entry lighting, off. Exit lighting, off. Did it work? Yes, it did. And that is how you read the friggin' manual.
Your belief in me is really something.
We decided to head south towards Halifax, and it was going to be a nearly 400-kilometer drive, so an all-day affair. We ended up back at the same charging station we'd visited earlier.
We took our most risky bet with only 62 kilometers left. It's time to charge it. Let's go eat.
But once bitten, twice shy, we were a bit wiser and started our charge before grabbing lunch this time.
I just found this gentleman sitting here.
But it wasn't very yummy, which is maybe part of the reason for this. No matter how great your road trip, there will absolutely be these parts, where one person becomes everyone else's spirit animal. We arrived at a hotel just outside of Halifax.
I always make it a point to ask if they have electric car charging, even though I know they very likely don't, just so they realize that it's coming and people are wanting it. Okay, we are charging at a flow station right in the center of
Halifax, so just checking in on plug share right now.
How far do you get on a single charge at highway speed?
About 400 kilometers.
Wow. I saw another car from New York. It was a Tesla.
Yeah.
And he drove it from Boston. He made it almost halfway through the province of New Brunswick before he had to go for a charge.
Oh, really?
But it's the future.
Yeah, it's coming fast.
Anyway.
Have a good day. We decided to visit the Immigration Museum.
Dad,
Yeah.
we saw a little kid that was doing something on the ground.
Oh, really? We went through some tough exhibits about which the kids were keen on having some answers. He had died, buddy, because they were running away from their home and they were in a boat, and the boat tipped over because it wasn't a very good boat, and he fell into the water and he drowned.
Why did that house sing?
Environmental migration is the most recent challenge to the definition of refugees. Climate change is affecting all regions of the world. Some estimate. Just as we were getting through that, the car reached 80% charge, so I moved it. I'm going to unplug, and I'm going to move over to a free L2 charger. Parking there costs $2 an hour, something similar. But it's definitely going to be cheaper than staying plugged in at a fast charging station that isn't charging at full power. We looked at some other exhibits that explain Canada's rich cultural diversity. It was the thing our friends at Broad Cove Campground had said they were most proud of being Canadian for. Work on that. One got so hot it just melted. After Halifax, we took a short 1-hour drive to the picturesque fishing village of Peggy's Cove. Sitting atop a rocky landscape is the lighthouse that overlooks part of the Great Nova Scotia batholith. Rock from molten materials shaped by millions of years of glacial scoring and tidal erosion. It's also a seemingly endless playground.
Can I go under that bridge?
Yep. If you're not into a seaside frolic, go ahead and skip ahead 1 minute and 15 seconds. This one's more for me than it is for you. Okay guys, this way. Oh, this is a cool crack. You guys want to climb a crack? Step inside the crack and use the handholds and footholds that you can find in there. Good job. Nice job. You did it!
Splunk. Splunk. I did it!
The kids could have stayed longer, but after walking through a field of annoyances, we had a brief lunch before heading to our next campsite. The campsite is called Ovens Natural Park, named so for all the sea caves along its coast, which we had a small sampling of when we arrived. It also has seaside RV sites, including a bunch of sites with these, which means this guy is finally going to see his day in the sun. We are at Ovens Natural Park, and I noticed at the RV sites that they have 30 amp service, so I popped into the office to see if they wouldn't mind me plugging in overnight for a nominal fee, and so they're checking on that, so we'll see if it works out.
What are they?
They're dolphins or porpoises or something.
What What are porpoises?
They're like little dolphins.